Okay, so what do we know about Cameron Smith's current situation at LIV Golf? Recently, this legendary Aussie golfer said that he was prepared to get some hits. Whether he is signed in the LIV Golf or not, we're about to find it. Stay tuned as we unveil this mystery. To begin with, what do we know about Cameron Smith being signed with the LIV Golf? Cam Smith came out swinging earlier this week, but he's now a little less prepared. This may be too much if you're dubious of his denial that he's already committed to joining LIV Golf. Smith is now a member of the PGA Tour and is as close to the top as one can go without physically being there. In Memphis, Tennessee, he's presently participating in the FedEx Cup playoffs, though he might soon be swashbuckling his way through courses like Countryman and LIV Golf CEO Commissioner Greg Norman. It's the media's job, dude. That's why they're present. When questioned about his future plans, Smith told Sky Sports, "They're there to sell stories. I'm willing to take some fire. I understand what you're saying, but my major aim is to win the FedEx Cup playoffs, and whatever that occurs after that is my responsibility." Despite Smith's words, it has been rumored that he has already committed to Defect and has signed a $100 million deal. Smith was matched with Masters champion Scheffler in the opening round of the St. Jude Championship earlier on Tuesday. The latter, a prominent opponent of LIV defectors, seemed to stroll right into the path of rumored LIV defector Smith, creating an embarrassing situation. Scheffler was attempting to read Smith's line when he crossed in front of him. The American didn't appear to notice and seemed unconcerned, but Smith returned a bewildered and disgusted face. Moving on, a federal court has denied LIV players' plea for PGA Tour postseason play. A federal court in California denied 3 LIV Golf players postseason PGA Tour entry. Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones, and Hudson Swafford competed for a spot in the FedEx Cup playoffs, beginning this week at TPC Southwind. Judge Beth Labson-Freeman issued her verdict Tuesday afternoon in San Jose, after almost an hour of discussion by both sides' attorneys. Ms. Freeman denied the golfers' interim restraining order motion. LIV Golf players filed an appeal with the PGA earlier this month, stating, "I'm a free agent and independent contractor." The court seems to assume that the LIV contracts, negotiated and agreed between the parties, Ms. Freeman wrote, were based on the players' assessment of what they would be leaving behind and the amount the players would need to monetize to make up for those losses. I agree with the defendants, the PGA Tour, that the players were informed of the losses at the time. Ms. Freeman contends that LIV Golf permits restricted players to compete in major tournaments around the United States, while emphasizing monetary restitution. The calculations show that they will make more than they have in the past, and can anticipate earning in a reasonable length of time under the PGA Tour. They made a business decision to get paid, PGA Tour attorney Elliot Peters said in court. They've already been rewarded for everything they're complaining about, earning more money on the PGA Tour in the preceding 2 months than they ever have. They're among the 11 players that filed an antitrust lawsuit against the PGA Tour last week, including Phil Mickelson. Following that, the judge rules that the LIV3 failed to establish that the PGA Tour suspension has hurt them. The decision court said that 3 LIV players wanting to compete in the FedEx Cup playoffs failed to demonstrate that they had been damaged, let alone irrevocably, by the PGA Tour's ban. Taylor Gooch, Hudson Swafford, and Matt Jones were fully aware of the ramifications of participating in LIV tournaments without authorization, according to Judge Beth Labson-Freeman, and had not made their case against being suspended by the PGA Tour as a result. The trio was not added to the field for the FedEx St. Jude Championship, the first of 3 playoff tournaments that started on Thursday, the same day the judge's written judgment was announced, at TPC Southwind in Memphis. Plaintiffs have not even shown that they've been hurt, let alone permanently, Freeman concluded. It is clear that the LIV Golf contracts negotiated by the plaintiffs and consummated between the parties were based on the players' calculation of what they would be leaving behind and the amount of money needed to compensate for those losses. Plaintiffs have signed contracts that richly reward them for their talent, while compensating for lost opportunity through tour play. Indeed, the data indicate that they will earn substantially more money with LIV Golf than they could reasonably have anticipated via tour participation during the same period. Judge Freeman rejected the LIV players' legal contention that failing to qualify for the playoffs would result in financial and reputational consequences. So, what are your opinions on the subject? Leave a remark. Next up, Max Kiefer wins his first DP World Tour Championship in the 249th attempt. Malaysia's Gavin Green carried a 3-shot lead into the final round of the DP World Tour tournament, which had been truncated to 54 holes due to excessive rain on Saturday, only to have his lead evaporate on the last stretch. Green was 3 under par for the day and 2 ahead with 5 holes remaining, when he double bogeyed the par 4 14th after sending his tee ball into the sea. Kiefer began 4 shots but responded with back-to-back birdies from the 10th, canceling out a bogey at the 15th with a stroke at the 17th, to score a 6 under 66 and set the clubhouse goal at 16 under. Green's birdie putt from 8 feet on the 18th to force a playoff lipped out, giving Kiefer his long-awaited breakthrough triumph. That's difficult to define what it implies right now, Kiefer added. It's fantastic. I'm at a loss for words. You say, I want to be ready if he makes a birdie, and you anticipate him to make a birdie. You don't want other people to miss putts. But it was absurd when the man on TV claimed you'd won it. I'm unsure how I feel. I'll need a few days. Tapio Pulkkanen of Finland tied third with his first-round leader Louis de Jager, while Xander Lombard's round of the day 64 propelled the South African to 5th place on 13 under. Eddie Pepperell of England tied for 9th after back-to-back 68s, while pre-tournament favorite Thomas Pieters fell to 11 under after a level par 72. Following that, Tom Weiskopf, Open champion and Ryder Cup hero, has passed away at the age of 79. Weiskopf began his professional career in 1964 and died on August 20, 2020 at his home in Big Sky, Montana, of cancer. In 1973, he won the Open by 3 strokes over Neil Coles and Johnny Miller at Royal Troon, but he also finished in the top 10 in 20 majors during his illustrious career. The American finished second 4 times at the Masters, including 3 times in a 4-year span beginning in 1972. Weiskopf was also a member of the U.S. Ryder Cup winning teams in 1973 and 1975. Weiskopf won 16 PGA Tour tournaments in 14 years, the most recent being the 1982 Western Open. He has 4 PGA Tour Champions victories to his name, including the 1995 U.S. Senior Open. Weiskopf was a well-known course designer who worked on many famous layouts all over the world. He had one of the best swings in golf history and competed against Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and Tom Watson. Weiskopf designs TPC Scottsdale, which hosts the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and Torrey Pines North Course in California, and other previous major winners paid tribute to a golfing great on social media. Watson, a major champion, said on Twitter, "My heartfelt condolences go out to Tom Weiskopf's family. I will miss hearing your stories. My dear friend, may you rest in peace." Finally, Nelly Korda won the solo Aramco Team Series Championship. Jessica Korda is denied a double after being passed in the 3rd round. After bogeying the 2nd hole, the overnight leader Jessica Korda was 7 strokes down. In contrast, the Olympic champion rebounded swiftly, recording 3 birdies on holes 7 to 9, 3 more on holes 12 to 14, and 1 on hole 16. Korda won her 2nd Ladies European Tour title at La Reserva Club de Sotogrande with a total score of 13 under par, despite a bogey at the 18th. "I'm overjoyed to win," remarked the major champion. "It's satisfying to have won anything this year, but I'm also disappointed since Jess had a bad day. We anticipated a bit more fight down the stretch, but this is golf and things like this happen on occasion. Number 2 was a bad omen for me. I was on the fairway straight behind a tree. I bogeyed that hole, putting me over par for the opening 9, but I was having a blast. It was nice to have 2 turkeys on the table. I kept on, assuring myself that there were many things I could see. The prior 2 days had been sloppy. Today was a little more intense since I was in the last group with 2 other contestants vying for first place. We were competing for first place, but the first 2 days were a lot of fun. It takes a somewhat different approach to golf. It was amusing to me." On 10 under par, Jessica Korda, Pauline Roussin of France, and Ana Peleas Trevino of Spain tied for 2nd place. Well, that marks the end of our script for today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.